6 people were arrested after a case in Columbia leads to Beaufort. Police warn locals about vehicle break-ins, and an unveiling party took place for an exciting new exhibit in town. We have those details. All that and much more. Keep watching Beaufort. Your news starts now. Thanks for joining us for the Beaufort News. I'm Jessa Jeremiah, and here are your local headlines. 6 people were arrested recently as part of a drug investigation by the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office. The DEA was working on a case in Columbia, which led to the identification and arrest of people in Beaufort County. Those arrested were suspected of getting fraudulent prescriptions for drugs, but once warrants were obtained, arrests were made for possession of 150 grams of marijuana, several guns, and drug paraphernalia. The investigation continues, and more arrests and charges are expected. Beaufort police are warning drivers about a string of vehicle break-ins recently. According to police, there have been recent reports of theft from both locked and unlocked vehicles in the Fort Littleton Road, Stewart Town Road, Spanish Point Drive, and Bay South apartment area. In the case of vehicles where entry was forced, valuables were visible inside of the vehicles, so they're urging people to lock their cars and avoid leaving valuables in plain sight. Beaufort County Schools announced last week that they have been awarded with a $100,000 grant. The Learning Center of Beaufort and the Coastal Community Foundation of South Carolina teamed up to present this 2-year award to the Beaufort County School District. The Learning Center of Beaufort is a nonprofit foundation that assists in developing programs to help children with different learning needs. The grant will work to expand efforts for early childhood programs. Another grant, this time won by the United Way of the Lowcountry, will be able to dramatically expand the group's efforts. The $234,000 grant given by AmeriCorps allows them to provide more services and tutor more students who need these programs. United Way officials say that the money should help them triple their current outreach in schools, but they will need help. They're currently looking for anywhere between 12 and 600 more volunteers to sign up for the program. For more information, please visit uwlowcountry.org. According to Beaufort repaving crews, the work on Beaufort's roads is right on schedule. Crews expect to be done on Bay Street by Thursday evening, and they have already started on Lafayette Street. Weather permitting, additional work will include North Street and Charles Street from September 16th through 20th, and Battery Creek and Waddell Road from September 23rd through 30th. New traffic signal mast arms will be installed downtown. That's later in the season. Recently released statistics show that the Beaufort County ranks among South Carolina's top 20% in the highest number of uninsured people. The Affordable Care Act requires the uninsured to get quality health care coverage, but Beaufort Jasper Hampton Comprehensive Health Services reported more than 7,400 people who still need health care. Open enrollment for the Affordable Care Act starts on October 1st and will close on March 31st. Those who don't have insurance by then will face a tax penalty. Beaufort County's new animal control program has a new name and some new faces. The county's 3 new animal service officers are proving to be a positive situation for both the animal shelter and the sheriff's office. The animal service officers try to locate the owners of any lost animals before placing them in an animal shelter. The ASOs not only stop situations of animal abuse, but also educate the public on how to take care of their pets, as well as handle any vicious animals. The untold history of the 1st South Carolina Volunteer Infantry Regiment was recently unveiled in Beaufort this week. They are the first regiment of former slaves to be recognized as Union troops, later known as the 33rd U.S. Colored Troops. The exhibit will be premiered on September 6th inside of Beaufort City Hall and will remain on display until mid-December. And here's what's happening around the state. A College of Charleston student died on the highway this weekend, which led to the arrest of another student. Franklin Barker West, 18, was a passenger in Henry Farr's SUV when Farr ran off the left side of the road on the highway and overturned. Farr is being held at the Clarendon County Detention Center. This was the second time in 4 days that a college student was charged with felony driving under the influence. Interstate 20 is back open after a tanker fire shut down both lanes for a brief time over the weekend. The South Carolina Department of Public Safety had to reroute traffic for several miles as they cleaned up the scenes. Witnesses say that they could hear an explosion and saw pieces of the truck stuck in the trees. There's still no word if there's any injuries. If you'd like additional information on these headlines, you can reference the media sources you see listed on your screen. Also, you can like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. Coming up, we've got WHHI's very own Kayla Logue, who tells us what's hot off the press in Beaufort news, and we'll catch up with the Chamber of Commerce for our business report. Stay right there.
Low Country Real Estate is located in historic downtown Beaufort, home to one of the most attractive real estate markets in America. We've been providing high-quality service to our community for the past 24 years. Whether you're interested in buying or selling residential, resort, or commercial investment property, our professional sales staff can help you with your real estate needs. Please visit lowcountryrealestate.com for details on all available properties in Beaufort and come see how the Low Country becomes you.
Welcome back to the Beaufort News. Joining us first for our hot off the press report is WHHI's own Kayla Logue. Such a pleasure to have you, Kayla. Welcome.
Hi, Jessa. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So, Kayla, there's a lot I want to talk to you about in just a short period of time. First, there's a special event being held in Beaufort soon. So, talk to us about the September 11th ceremony that's coming up.
The September 11th ceremonies will honor the local veterans and the organizations. Awards will also be given to the firefighters and the law enforcement officers of the year. The guest speakers will include an Elvis Presley impersonator, John Woodall, a North Carolina firefighter, and also a firefighter that was actually in New York on September 11th during the aftermath of the terrorist attack, and his name is Ed Cornett.
Okay, lots going on. So where can people go for this and what time should they arrive?
It'll be held on Wednesday at the Henry C. Chambers Waterfront Park at 8:30 a.m.
All right, so we'll check back with you to see how that goes. Now, let's talk about the construction on Spanish Moss Trail. I know there's a new segment. Tell us about that.
Well, the second part of the Spanish Moss Trail, the construction is planned to start Monday, and the next 2.27 miles of the trail in Port Royal are planned to be finished on Thanksgiving week, and that is also actually 1 year anniversary of the beginning of the 1 mile trail that was built last year.
All right, great. And then, do you know about any future plans from Beaufort County for this project?
The Beaufort County actually intends to invest another $1.3 million in the trail, and this will include another 2-mile segment that will run from Depot Road to the Paris Island Gateway. But the construction on this is not planned to start until next year.
All right. Now, I want to switch gears a little bit, and we don't have a lot of time left, but I do want to get some details from you on the Port Royal fire that happened recently. Tell us about this.
Well, it took place on 2208 Southside Boulevard at around 4:30 p.m. and the American Red Cross assistant volunteers actually had to assist 2 victims out of the apartment, but minor damage was caused.
All right, well, thank you so much for the info, and we'll check back with you and get some updates there. Miss Kayla Logue, that is our hot off the press report. Thanks so much. Joining us now for our business report is Miss Jaime Dailey-Vergara, who joins us from the Beaufort Regional Chamber of Commerce. Now, Jaime, I know there's a lot going on over at the Chamber these days, so tell us about the most recent event, Military Appreciation Day. I know that took place over the weekend, so talk to us about that.
This year's event was presented by the Chamber, as well as Atlantic Marine Corps Communities and MCCS. But of course, we couldn't have done it without the many sponsors. Businesses and organizations donated food, drinks, prizes, and of course their time. We had a wonderful event, and we just want to say thank you to all of them for helping to make it happen, and thank you, a big thank you, to our military families.
All right, what a great event for those military families, so thank you for sharing that with us. Now, I understand you had another event recently downtown on Bay Street, so tell me about that.
Yes, we've been very busy at the Chamber. This past week, we had a paving party on Bay Street during the first day of the construction. We served lots of cookies and lemonade to welcome many of our guests who had come here to Beaufort for the day to visit us. And we also wanted to make sure that everyone knew that downtown Beaufort and Bay Street were open for business. This was just another way to make sure that people kind of came downtown, supported our local businesses. They are definitely the heart of this community, and we wanted to make sure that we did our part to help support them. Now, during the construction, we had lots of different businesses who really kind of got on board and had fun with it. Some of them had sales. Lulu Burgess, I think, wore their hard hats during the day. Lots of businesses really had some fun with it. And we had a lot of successes downtown as well. Some of our local restaurants had really good days, and many businesses, including Bay Street Jewelers, had really great days. They said that during the first day of the construction, many of their customers understood what was going on down on Bay Street and came down and made sure to spend some time and some money with them. So that was wonderful.
All right, Jamie, what a great way to make a tough situation into a fun one as that construction wraps up. So thank you so much for your thoughts this week. For our business report, Ms. Jamie Dailey-Vergara of the Beaufort Regional Chamber of Commerce. Thanks so much. After the break, we catch up with USCB Beaufort as they announce an exciting new exhibition. And we have a special on location as we get ready for the Lieutenant Dan weekend, so stick around.
Allison Ramsey Architects believes that good design is a result of a collaborative effort between the architect, the builder, and most importantly, the client. The low country lifestyle incorporates all aspects of the home, and good design reflects the character of a family. No longer items of luxury, good design is standard. Let us help you craft a home built with everyday living in mind. Allison Ramsey Architects, creating sustainable, timeless design.
Welcome back to the Beaufort News. There is a new faculty art exhibition at USCB Beaufort. WHHI was at the Sea Island Center to catch the action at the unveiling party.
I'm Joanna Angel. This is Kim Keats. Tonight we are welcoming the Beaufort community to the faculty show here at USC Beaufort. I teach printmaking and ceramics and drawing. I made these ceramic pieces right here, these bird bowls, and I have a print around the corner. In ceramics we are hand building. We've made our pinch pots. We're going to make some beautiful boxes and really investigate the surface of the clay and how clay moves. In drawing, that class is full, but take it next semester. In printmaking, we're starting with the relief print, a wood cut or a lino cut, and we'll go on to intaglio processes. So look that word up and then take that class, right?
I'm teaching a studio art for non-majors, and I have the fiber sculptures that are in the other room. They're made largely from tree bark that I harvest, along with palmetto root from our local trees that have fallen due to erosion along the coastline, and they're interlaced with some waxed linen thread. The students in the studio art class for non-majors are learning largely two-dimensional design. We've been doing some drawing and learning drawing techniques. We're working with reverse shape designs, and we'll be moving on into color theory with painting, and I'm going to slip a little bit of paper weaving in on them.
Brian Glaze. My position is Assistant Professor, Program Coordinator for Studio Art. I'm excited to be here. I'm glad to see the turnout for our faculty exhibition, and I just welcome everyone else to come out and see it if they have a chance later on this month. It's my grandfather's face that was cast off of his face 80 years ago, and they were then just transformed into bronze from plaster this past spring. So it came off of his face in 1933, and we just cast them in bronze when I was doing a workshop up in Western Carolina University.
I teach studio art for non-majors, where you can learn the basics of art, drawing, painting, and design. So the painting behind here is inspired by Gullah Geechee culture, and you can see that there's a woman on here, and she has a sweetgrass basket. You can see Adinkra stamps, which are African symbols, and each one has a different proverb and meaning. I was just featured at the Labor Day Arts and Music Festival. Then in January, I have a show with Jonathan Green. Then he's one of the inspirations for the work that I do. So if you have a chance to come out and see the work here at the University of South Carolina, Beaufort, Sea Island Art Center, it's up to the end of the month, so make sure you stop by.
The Independence Fund is an organization that assists wounded veterans and their families. This week is a big week for the group as it hosts the Lieutenant Dan weekend in Beaufort. Earlier this summer, we met one veteran who was getting medical help thanks to the Independence Fund.
Paul Cornett is getting ready to undergo a medical treatment called hyperbaric oxygen therapy, known for short as HBOT. He's come to Hilton Head Island with his wife Faith in hopes of healing the wounds from a war he fought years ago.
I was in Iraq during 2003, 2004, and we had rocket attacks daily. They couldn't aim them at a specific place. They just shot them in our direction. So you would hear the sonic boom, you knew a rocket was coming, and you just had to wait and listen for where it was going to land. And we had 3 fired, and it happened to land right, well, me and my friend, we ran to the impact zone, and we sort of ran faster than we thought we did. And I went one direction, he went the other direction.
And what happened to you?
I got a little piece of shrapnel in my head that I pulled out later, but ended up giving me TBI in the long run. Traumatic brain injury. My memory is, I couldn't tell you what we had for dinner most nights. Some long-term memory I can't remember. My cognitive motions and stuff is very difficult for me. I have a hard time working my hands and my brain at the same time.
Any physical pain at all or anything?
I get migraines about every other day where I have to take pills and a shot every couple hours.
Paul has also been diagnosed with PTSD, post-traumatic brain disorder.
Since 2006, since he was discharged from the military, I feel like I've been deployed since then. I live with his isolation, the pain that he goes through, the nightmares, the screaming, and I've seen the haunted, faraway look in his eyes, and I know when it's coming. And I don't know everything that he's gone through. He doesn't want to tell me everything he's gone through. But at the same time, it's so hard for me because this is my whole life right here, and to see him in that kind of pain and misery, and thinking that there's no one out there that's going to help us. That's the hardest part.
The Independence Fund is doing what it can to help make life better for Faith and Paul. The organization arranged for Paul to get hyperbaric oxygen therapy with Dr. Pete Stevens. He says research shows that HBOT treatments help people with traumatic brain injuries and PTSD.
What does the healing in the body is the oxygen. It's not blood. It's the oxygen that's carried in the blood, but the blood can only carry so much oxygen, which is 100x. With this, you're dissolving oxygen in all the body fluids, including the cerebral spinal fluid, and goes directly to the brain, and it helps heal the injured parts of the brain.
In addition to treatments, the Independence Fund also worked out travel arrangements for the couple from their home in the Midwest to the Lowcountry and arranged for their stay at Palm Key. After several treatments, Paul and Faith are seeing results.
It may seem to others that the positive aspects of it that are happening to him after only 13 dives, it may seem small to others, but to us, they're huge leaps and bounds. The pain medication, he doesn't take the pain medication like he used to. He doesn't need it. He's sleeping, he's talking, he's feeling more comfortable in himself. And it's just, it's more than I could have ever hoped for.
With the Independence Fund, they're all volunteers. No one gets paid for anything, and it shows by what they do for the veterans, the wounded warriors that are out there. They know that if they get a hold of the Independence Fund, they're going to do everything they can to get you what you need.
When we return, Councilman Joe Lee brings us up to speed with all of the latest Port Royal events, and Lowcountry Weekly brings us our Out and About report. That's after the break.
Welcome to the town of Port Royal, located along the Intercoastal Waterway and Battery Creek in the heart of South Carolina's Lowcountry. One of America's leaders in small-town new urbanism, where visitors enjoy shopping and dining, and residents appreciate the tranquility of a quiet walking village. Come experience the hospitality and growth of a beautiful coastal community. Come experience the opportunities of Port Royal, South Carolina.
Welcome back to the Beaufort News. Joining us now is Councilman Joe Lee, who joins us for our Port Royal report. Now, Joe, you've got some changes in the local festival schedule, so what can you talk to us about at this time?
Yes, Jessa, I mentioned on Beaufort News a few weeks ago that we had a fall festival coming up in October the 19th. But I wanted to announce today that that has been delayed. We're not going to have our fall festival on that date. The exact date and of the festival will be announced here later. So any of you that had planned to come on the 19th, we'll give you an update on the date and the location and details like that.
All right, we'll have to get that update from you. And now the next street music event, features some folks familiar to our Hilton Head viewers. Is that right? Can you give us details there?
That is exactly right, Jessa. We have Levon and Louise from the Jazz Corner in Hilton Head. They came and opened a show for us in the spring, and about the time they started performing, the rain came. So everyone said, bring them back, bring them back. So we're real pleased that this group will be September the 14th, Saturday evening, and we're ready for a great show to continue our concert series.
All right, and where exactly are these events, and what should people bring, if anything?
Well, they're always held on Paris Avenue in Port Royal, between 10th Street and 9th Street. We block the street off. People are encouraged to bring their coolers, their friends, their children, and their neighbors. And by the way, their bag chairs as well, because there's plenty of seating. It's under the live oak trees, and it's a great, great evening.
All right, Joe. Well, lots of great updates for us from Port Royal as always. Councilman Joe Lee with our Port Royal report. Now we are joined by Lowe Country Weekly, who gives us the latest in entertainment news in our Out and About report.
Thanks a lot. We're going to start with a big exhibit coming to the Beaufort County Library. It's one of only 50 sites nationwide selected to host the traveling exhibit Civil War 150, exploring the war and its meaning through the words of those who lived it. Now, this is a national traveling exhibit organized by the Gilder Lehrman Institute of American History in partnership with the Library of America. It will help you explore the bloodiest war in United States history through the eyes of major political figures, soldiers, families, and freedmen through letters, personal accounts, and images. You can learn how people grappled with the end of slavery, the nature of democracy and citizenship, and the human toll of the Civil War, as well as the role of a president in wartime. The free exhibit is open Monday through Friday through the end of the month. For more information, just click on BeaufortCountyLibrary.org. And also a cool new group show just went up the gallery at the USCB Center for the Arts. The Art League of Hilton Head, the Society of Bluffton Artists, and the Beaufort Art Association have all combined for an exhibition of artwork from all three organizations. The show features a wide range of styles and diversity and is curated by Tom Vastingberg of the Beaufort Art Association. It's on display at the USCB Gallery through September 27th. For more info, just call 726-5528. And finally, come out and join local author Teresa Bruce and her friends on Saturday, September 21st at the USCB Center for the Arts to help celebrate the publication of her new book, The Other Mother, a re-memoir. The book reimagines the life of Beaufort dance legend Bern Miller. It's a good one. The kickoff event pays tribute to her with a short program followed by a catered reception. Teresa will do an encore presentation of her fabulous TED Talk about Bern and signed copies of the book, which will also be available for purchase. And advanced dance students will perform short pieces. Gail Westerfield will perform a monologue written for Bern by Suzanne Larson. And the event is free. A portion of the book sales will go to the USCB Center for the Arts Renovation Fund. The program does start promptly at 6:30. For more information, call 521-4145 and be sure to pick up a copy of Lowe Country Weekly for our interview with Teresa and a review of the book. And that is what's out and about. Back to you.
Thanks for joining us for the Beaufort News. I'm Jessa Jeremiah. Please join us next time.